We welcome you back to Thunderbolt Lanes. It's men's title time for the Viper Championship. Rob Stone, Randy Peterson back here with you. And it'll be an all-lefty showdown showcasing two young, hard-throwing talents. Rhino Page taking on Ryan Ciminelli.
Remember, the two southpaws teamed up and got together, came up with a game plan that said, hey, we're not going to do a whole lot of practicing. We're both going to throw urethane equipment, and we're going to own the righties. Guess what? Plan worked to perfection.
Now, they're on their own.
Good point.
Page drops the opening rack. And I love his jersey. It's a weather grid with, I thought that was a hurricane, but it's, you're telling me it's a tornado system.
It's a tornado.
Huh. Get on down with your bad self, Rhino. So Rhino likes his music. Michael Haugen doesn't care for it. And Ryan Ciminelli is indifferent, just wants to bowl well. Oh, that got there in a hurry.
Yeah, and with bad intentions.
C-pin, hit pin. Ryan Ciminelli still seeking his first tour title. Again, he was the runner-up last week to Norm Duke at the Cheetah Championship. Rhino Page with 2 tour titles, 2 and 3 in title matches.
Just hope it works.
Ciminelli, the native of Buffalo.
But how about that ball change from Ryan Ciminelli going to a little shiner urethane ball on that left lane?
3 frames, 3 strikes. Here's Rhino Page pulling a Randy and breaking down the title match for us.
I'm not doing something that I'm completely comfortable with these urethane balls. I have to bowl a little bit differently to make them work. Ciminelli, on the other hand, he can play a little more of his A game, so I think he's got a little bit of an advantage of me there. But you know, experience-wise, you know, him only being on his 2nd show, I think I certainly have him there, and I know how I felt on my 2nd show as compared to my, you know, 8th show. So, you know, he's going to have some nerves, and I think that could play a factor.
And there's something we haven't seen a whole lot of, the 7-pin on the right lane. You take a look at how these two southpaws are playing. They're playing right on top of one another in terms of location. But the biggest difference is the amount of revolutions that man has versus Rhino Page. So you ask yourself, well, how are they able to play the same spot on the lane? Rhino's doing it with loft and a little bit more surface. That way he could still use that dry part of the lane. He doesn't throw it as hard as Ryan Ciminelli, and he has a little bit lower rev rate. So he's going with some more loft.
I always find it interesting, Randy, when we talk about lefties, is yes, they've had a lot of coaching through the years, but rarely do the lefties get coaching from a lefty. Usually it's a righty bowler trying to educate a lefty, and you see these guys almost a little bit behind the curve education-wise in how they bowl a game compared to a righty.
Oh, boy.
Well, it would comment on that shot in a minute, but getting back to what you said, Rob, I think you're exactly right. And I think that's why on the tour you see the lefties kind of congregate together and they really stick together. I don't think it's a good idea to have a right-hander teach a left-hander because he doesn't bowl on that side of the lane. He doesn't know what they go through. And getting back to the shot that Rhino just threw, I think he is very surprised that he got 10.
Push a little. All right.
Ciminelli opens up with a 3-bagger. And there's Ciminelli's family in attendance. Family, a big part of his bowling life.
I couldn't ask for better parents. And they've always wanted what I've wanted for myself. And so I went out and I got this tattoo on my arm. And it says both their names. And it says, "A son's love is forever."
So both the names of his parents, Angelo and Janet, on the shoulder.
Shim, shim. All right. I'll take 9 there. Can grab it like that.
There's Dad Angelo. We mentioned earlier a His dad was a big-time bowler up in the Buffalo area.
Well, you can just see all the torque and the power and that elbow bend, that cup wrist. It's so violent at the point of release, it actually pulls him off balance.
I love that description, violent. That really lets you know. Well, Ciminelli is 104th at the Motor City Open. Second last week to Norm Duke at the Cheetah Championship, trying to be the winner this weekend.